A woman is eating her lunch every single day with a dead body hanging right in front of her. It sounds insane, but the corpse is dangling right there in plain sight. She just notices a foul odor, kind of like dirty socks. She figures her stew is just a little too sour today and happily keeps on eating. Meanwhile, putrid liquid from the rotting corpse is dripping right into her bowl. How could she not notice a dead body just inches away? Well, because that corpse belongs to the previous tenant who hung himself in this exact room and is now turned into a ghost. Right after this, the woman discovers a terrifying secret about the apartment building she and her sister just bought. In every single unit ending in the number 4, someone has died. The story kicks off with the dark history of this bizarre apartment complex. One person fell down the stairs and died, their body turning completely blue. Another person had their head completely bashed in. The ways they died were all different, but the root cause was always the exact same thing: a terrifying, agonizing sound echoing through the building. It sounds exactly like someone grinding their teeth right next to your ear in the dead of night. It's not incredibly loud, but just hearing it is enough to give you full-body chills. The girl living in apartment 604, Joo-hee, was slowly losing her mind over this grinding noise. She actually went out, bought soundproof foam, and covered her entire ceiling with it. She even set up a decibel meter and a video camera to catch it on tape. While she's busy trying to gather proof, that horrific sound starts up again. Suddenly, the doorbell rings, but this normal, cheerful chime doesn't make the vibe any less creepy. It actually makes the room feel even more haunted. Her camera starts moving on its own, like someone is hiding out on the balcony. Joo-hee picks up the intercom receiver, but no one says a word. Instead, a disturbing, messed up mix of a cat meowing and a baby crying blasts through the speaker. Her TV screen starts glitching out like crazy. Frustrated and angry, she snaps the TV off. The entire room plunges into darkness, and right at that moment, a pitch-black shadow appears right behind her. Joo-hee doesn't even notice it. As she turns around to walk away, the teeth-grinding sound creeps closer and closer. After that night, nobody ever saw Joo-hee again. 7 days later, out in the city outskirts, Joo-hee's sister, Joo-young, is working at an incredibly loud factory. Everyone on the floor is wearing heavy-duty earmuffs for protection, but Joo-young doesn't even care. Even surrounded by 100 decibels of screaming machinery, she's completely unfazed. That's because she was born deaf. The factory manager yells at her for a while before finally just mouthing the words to get her attention. She slips on her hearing aid only to get some devastating news from the police. Someone reported that her sister, Joo-hee, has been missing for a week. Panicked, Joo-young rushes straight back to that old run-down apartment building. Right on the front door, she finds a notice slapped there by the neighbors complaining about excessive noise. It's been a long time since she stepped foot in here. Inside, apartment 604 is a complete wreck. Joo-hee's room looks like an absolute dumpster. Seeing this brings back a flood of memories for Joo-young. When they were kids, their family was in a horrific car crash on their way to a vacation. Their parents died on the spot. Joo-young lost her hearing, and Joo-hee badly injured her leg, leaving her with a permanent disability. The two sisters used the money their parents left behind to buy this exact apartment, but Joo-hee was constantly complaining that she couldn't sleep because of the noise coming from the floor above them. Joo-young always thought her sister was just being paranoid and dramatic, so they got into a massive fight, and Joo-young angrily moved out into her company's dorms. Lost in thought, Joo-young tries calling her sister, but the phone just keeps ringing. Then she realizes Joo-hee's bag is still in the room, and her phone is turned off inside it. In Korea, young people don't go a single second without their phones. Leaving it behind meant something terrible had definitely happened to her. Joo-young turns around to start cleaning up her sister's dirty laundry, but freezes when she spots a filthy stain on the floor. It looks exactly like a human face. Before she can even process it, that strange sound starts echoing from all around her, and then the doorbell rings. She opens the door to find an angry-looking guy standing in the dark hallway. He tells her he lives in Unit 504. He aggressively threatens Joo-young, warning her that if she hears one more sound coming from upstairs, he's going to kill her. After the guy storms off, Joo-young nervously peeks out into the hall. She completely freezes when she sees the silhouette of a woman standing at the very end of the corridor. It hits her right then just how haunted and cursed this place has become. She tries to unlock her sister's phone to find some kind of clue, but the password fails. The next morning, Joo-young goes straight to the building's security guard to report the guy from 504 for threatening her. The guard tells her that 504 actually isn't to blame. He hints that some truly unspeakable things happened in apartment 604 in the past. But before he can finish the story, a new tenant storms in complaining about a disgusting stench coming from the basement. He forces the guard to open the heavy iron door. The second it opens, a smell so putrid hits them that everyone gags. The guard explains that for the last 10 years, people have been using the basement as a giant garbage dump, and the landlords absolutely refuse to spend a dime to clean it up. This leads to a massive screaming argument between the tenants and the head of the landlord committee, a stubborn older woman. With all the chaos going on, Joo-young totally misses her chance to find out what actually happened in 604. Back in her room, Joo-young is going through the closet when she finds a birthday present. It's from her sister, a brand new high-tech neck massager and a cake. Joo-hee probably knew Joo-young was exhausted from working at a computer all day and wanted to help her relax. Alongside it is a brand new hearing aid equipped with a voice recording feature. Listening to it, Joo-young hears a voice memo from Joo-hee, crying and begging for forgiveness for their big fight. Hearing her sister's voice brings tears to Joo-young's eyes. Looking at the birth date written on the cake gives her an idea. She types her own birth date into Joo-hee's phone and it unlocks. The phone is packed with dozens of audio files. They're all full of those bizarre noises and Joo-hee screaming like a maniac, recorded as proof. But in one specific recording, you can hear a woman whispering something, though the words are completely muffled. Suddenly, a deafening shriek blasts through the phone speaker, scaring Joo-young half to death. She convinces herself she's just hallucinating from extreme exhaustion. She takes a hot shower and rushes to get ready for bed. Right at that moment, the doorbell rings again. Joo-young calls out, "Who is it?" A voice replies, "Sis, it's me. Open the door." She steps toward the door to open it, but stops dead in her tracks. The voice sounded exactly like her sister, but the delivery was totally robotic, like a pre-recorded tape playing back. She slowly looks through the peephole, and staring right back at her is a terrifying, unnaturally massive eye. In that single second, any trace of sleep she had is completely gone. Just then, Joo-hee's boyfriend, Ki-hoon, shows up at the building. He's been out looking for her too. While they're talking, Joo-hee's phone rings. It turns out, right before she vanished, the last call Joo-hee made was to a local social worker. The woman on the phone whispers a horrifying secret. The previous owner of apartment 604 also complained about those exact same strange noises, eventually lost his mind and hung himself right in that very room. Joo-young gets full body chills, realizing she's been sleeping in the same room as a ghost. The two of them head back to 604, only to find the door covered in even more threatening notes. The guy from 504 has written out vicious curses and death threats. Joo-young calls the cops, but they tell her that until the guy actually physically attacks her, their hands are tied and they can't arrest him. Meanwhile, the building's security footage shows that Joo-hee never actually left the premises. That means whether she's dead or alive, she is still somewhere inside this building. Later that night, Ki-hoon finishes making a bunch of missing person posters and heads out. Just as he leaves, the crazy guy from 504 comes creeping up to harass Joo-young again.
왜요? 이번 주에 A도 없이.
우리 인스一看是个男人。
But as soon as he spots Ki-hoon, he totally loses his nerve and backs off. The scariest part? The guy was hiding a massive razor-sharp meat cleaver behind his back. If Ki-hoon hadn't been there, Joo-young would definitely be dead. The next day, Joo-young is walking around the neighborhood plastering her sister's missing posters on the walls. She notices the landlord chairwoman's mute son sitting by the road, staring completely blankly at the basement ventilator. She walks up and asks, "What are you looking at in there?" But the kid doesn't say a word and just sprints away. This kid is actually a massive clue to the whole mystery. Soon after, Joo-young bumps into a woman named Lee G.A. who lives in Unit 804. Lee G.A. basically tries to gaslight her, telling her to drop the whole missing person investigation. She says that if the media gets hold of the story, the city will delay the demolition of the building, and every single resident is just waiting for the place to get torn down so they can score brand new apartments. When Joo-young gets back to her room, things take an even darker turn. She starts hearing her sister's desperate cries for help echoing directly out of the sink drain. Then she hears the front door unlock. She turns around and sees Joo-hee standing there, her hair a total mess. Overjoyed, she rushes forward to hug her, but in the blink of an eye, her sister vanishes. Instead, she's suddenly hanging by a rope from the ceiling right in the middle of the living room. She screams at the top of her lungs, only to be jolted awake by the low battery warning chiming on her hearing aid. It was all just a nightmare. But the real horror is just beginning. Her phone's audio recognition app suddenly turns on completely by itself. The screen flashes with the words, "Sound detected." That means someone is whispering in this completely empty room. Slowly, Joo-young turns to look at the balcony. Reflected in the glass door is the twisted, deformed silhouette of a woman. It doesn't look human at all. At that exact same moment, the psycho from 504 is standing outside her front door, actively trying to hack the keypad password to break in. There's a literal demon inside her apartment and a knife-wielding psychopath right outside her door. Having no idea what else to do, Joo-young grabs a heavy meat cleaver from the kitchen and prepares to fight for her life. But when she slides open the balcony door, the ghost is nowhere to be found. So where did it go? The ghost actually teleported out into the hallway and is clinging right onto the back of the 504 guy's neck. The guy panics and starts sprinting up the stairs, but the ghost suddenly teleports right in front of him, flashing a horrifyingly mangled face. Trapped and completely terrified, the guy throws himself out of the 7th floor hallway window, plunging to his death instantly. When the police show up the next day, Joo-young demands they search apartment 504. This makes the landlord chairwoman furious, and she snaps, "You're a pretty girl, so why are you acting exactly like that crazy woman from 704? That specific comment gets stuck in Joo-young's head. To figure out what happened in 704, she goes straight to Lee G.A. in Unit 804. Lee G.A. pulls out an old photograph and explains that an older woman named Auntie Park used to live in 704. About a year ago, Auntie Park constantly complained that Lee G.A.'s little girl was playing way too loudly. Out of sheer anger, Auntie Park would literally smash a heavy pan against the floor just to make noise back. Sick and tired of all the racket, a local thug named Sang-biao, who lived in 604 at the time, absolutely snapped and beat Auntie Park to death with a hammer. When she died, she was wearing a bright red dress. She spent a long time desperately clawing at the walls trying to survive, but all the neighbors just assumed it was the usual annoying building noise. Because she died in that red dress, she transformed into a terrifying, vengeful spirit, and the killer, Sang-biao, he completely vanished right after. Now, apartment 704 is totally empty, yet bizarre noises still echo from there in the dead of night. With the guy from 504 now dead, Joo-young figured she would finally get one peaceful night of sleep, but when she wakes, she finds the word "die" painted in massive, bloody letters across her front door. She immediately assumes the landlord chairwoman is behind it. She marches downstairs and totally lunges at the older woman right in front of everybody. A massive, chaotic brawl breaks out between the two of them, and Joo-young's hearing aid even gets knocked straight out of her ear. Luckily, Ki-hoon rushes in and manages to pull them apart.
Ki-hoon arrives with some incredibly crucial information. The killer from 604, Sang-biao, actually never left the building. There is absolutely zero CCTV footage of him exiting the premises. That means he has to be hiding somewhere deep inside that rotting, putrid basement. Joo-young and Ki-hoon decide to head down into the basement together. While searching, they stumble upon a hidden door. Shining their flashlights through the pitch-black darkness, they eventually step into a secret room. Inside, Joo-young finds a weird drawing sketchbook. As she flips through the pages, her jaw drops. The book is filled with sketches of her own childhood car accident, but suddenly, the pages just go completely blank. It felt exactly like some dark, evil force was actively messing with their minds. Meanwhile, Ki-hoon spots the killer, Sang-biao, sleeping while facing the wall. Joo-young calls out to Ki-hoon from behind, but as he slowly turns his head, he flashes a horrifying, unnatural smile. It becomes instantly obvious that he is completely possessed by an evil spirit. Without warning, he violently attacks Joo-young. Fighting for her life, she grabs a heavy rock, smashes it into her head, and desperately crawls toward the ventilator to escape. But Ki-hoon lunges and grabs her leg. Right at that exact second, the landlord chairwoman suddenly appears out of nowhere and yanks Joo-young out to safety. When Joo-young finally regains consciousness, she finds herself lying in the chairwoman's office. She finds out that the woman's mute son had seen her hearing aid and felt a deep sense of sympathy for her. Joo-young looks at the chairwoman and casually mentions, "The only kids I've ever seen in this entire building are your son and Lee Ji-ae's little girl." Hearing this, the chairwoman looks absolutely terrified and replies, "Lee Ji-ae's daughter died in a tragic car accident years ago." Right then, the mute boy uses sign language to desperately warn Joo-young, "You are trapped in a demonic illusion. You are hearing things that you are never supposed to hear. If you don't stop listening, you are going to die too."
Shortly after this, the police arrive and deliver some absolutely devastating news. Ki-eun's dead body was just found down in the basement. Joo-young completely refuses to accept his death. She is utterly convinced that her sister is still trapped somewhere even deeper inside that basement. So the second the cops leave, she heads straight back down into the dark, all by herself. This time, she actually finds her sister's missing video camera. She connects it to her phone and hits play, uncovering a genuinely terrifying video. The footage clearly shows Lee Ji-ae from 804 with 7 or 8 heavy-duty industrial machines set up right in her apartment. She was using them to blast bizarre, terrifying noises throughout the entire building all night long. She was the actual source of all the horrific sounds, driving everyone insane. The video also catches Lee Ji-ae talking to thin air, creepily whispering, "Mom, I will stay right here with you forever." Suddenly, the entire mystery makes perfect sense. Joo-young wasn't kidnapped by some paranormal ghost. She was taken by this absolute psychopath, Lee Ji-ae. Creeping through the pitch-black shadows, Joo-young finally finds her sister chained to a concrete wall. She is barely clinging to life. Just as Joo-young frees her and tries to make a run for it, Lee Ji-ae steps right out of the darkness, blocking their only exit. A brutal, terrifying fight breaks out. Between the chaos, Joo-young screams, "Why did you kill all these innocent people?" Lee Ji-ae just bursts into an insane, maniacal laugh and confesses to everything. She explains that Auntie Park was constantly complaining about her little girl making too much noise while playing. Because of that, she was forced to send her daughter outside to play on the streets, and while playing outside, her daughter was brutally run over by a truck and killed instantly. On the day the thug Sang-biao was attacking Auntie Park with the hammer, Lee Ji-ae was actually standing right there, watching the whole thing from a distance. The second Sang-biao walked away, Lee Ji-ae went inside and personally finished Auntie Park off to get her ultimate revenge. After that, she lured Sang-biao down into the basement, murdered him too, and hid his rotting corpse.
After spilling her twisted secret, Lee Jie lunges right at Joo-young, wielding a massive, heavy hammer. She overpowers Joo-young, pins her to the ground, and raises the hammer high above her head. In just a few seconds, Joo-young's skull is going to be completely crushed. But right at that moment, Joo-young glances up at the ceiling. She instantly freezes in absolute terror, but she wasn't scared of Lee Jie anymore. Dangling entirely upside down from the concrete ceiling was the ghost of Auntie Park, still wearing that exact same blood-red dress. Auntie Park's vengeful spirit didn't lay a single finger on the innocent Joo-young. Instead, the ghost lunges down, bites down incredibly hard right onto Lee Jie's neck, and violently drags her deep into the pitch-black abyss. Lee Jie's blood-curdling screams echo throughout the entire basement. Joo-young quickly covers her sister's ears so that this cursed, agonizing sound never reaches them again. With all the sinners finally dead, a strange, eerie peace returns to the apartment building. Fast forward a few months later, a brand new tenant moves into the totally empty apartment 704. Just being polite, the new girl comes downstairs to introduce herself to Joo-young in 604. As they wrap up their friendly conversation, the girl casually asks a totally normal question. By the way, why do such weird noises keep coming from apartment 704 at night? Hearing those words makes Joo-young's blood run absolutely cold. Because Lee Jie from 804 is already dead, Auntie Park's vengeful spirit got her violent revenge and finally moved on. So does that mean Lee Jie is now the new ghost haunting that exact apartment? And whose life is she going to destroy next? That's exactly where this chilling South Korean thriller ends, leaving behind one seriously terrifying, lingering question. For those of you who just sat through this crazy, suspenseful ride, I have a quick question for you. When you're lying in bed at night trying to sleep, do you ever hear the strange sound of a marble dropping or someone walking heavily on the ceiling above you? If you do, who's to say there isn't a dark mystery hiding right inside your own building? This incredible psychological horror masterpiece is called Noise, a 2024 South Korean supernatural thriller. In Korea, floor noise between apartments is actually a massive real-world social issue, and director Kim Soo-jin brilliantly twisted that everyday problem into a suffocating, terrifying nightmare.